Interviewing celebrities isn't always easy for the interviewer or the stars themselves. It can be tricky to come up with questions that an actor or musician hasn't already answered countless times before, and sometimes out-of-the-box inquiries about movies, television, and music can get everyone involved into trouble too. Female celebrities often are asked about their outfits and their bodies, and all-stars often fall victim to personal questions about their private lives or dark pasts that they've tried to bury or move beyond. Whether it's rude questions about a celebrity's personal life or just poor manners, these stars all made it quite clear when they'd had enough, and they let their interviewers know it in a big way. From slight to fight. When Larry King interviewed Jerry Seinfeld in 2007, the legendary talk show host did ask a pretty dopey question about the way that Seinfeld's hit comedy series came to an end.
180 episodes.
You gave it up, right?
I did. So.
They didn't cancel you. You canceled them.
But Seinfeld's reaction may have been a bit over the top and rude, all things considered. First, he acted incredulous that King could even ask such a question.
You're not aware of this?
Then he began laying into King, questioning his professionalism and preparedness.
Yeah.
You think I got canceled? Are you under the impression that I got canceled?
Have I hurt you, Jerry?
I thought that was pretty well documented.
Is
this still CNN?
If that wasn't awkward enough, Seinfeld then went on to boast about his pop culture relevance and boost his own ego in the process.
I went off the air. I was the number one show on television, Larry. Do you know who I am? 75 million viewers. Last episode.
After that, King tried to calm Seinfeld down, but the funny man had no humor about the host's confusion.
Well, that's the big difference between being canceled and being number one.
To top it all off, even after Larry King apologized for the gaffe, Seinfeld still attacked his intelligence.
B-movie
Can we get a resume in here for me?
B-movie opens tomorrow.
Perhaps it's appropriate that Seinfeld was promoting his B-movie at the time because those comments sure do sting. Digging too deep. In Legend, Tom Hardy portrayed bisexual gangster twins Ronnie and Reggie Kay, but while he was promoting the film at the Toronto International Film Festival, he didn't appreciate the subject of his own personal preferences coming up. One reporter contrasted his character Ronnie, who's very open about his sexuality, with Hardy's real-life persona, which he said is a bit more closed off, and things went right off the rails.
Do you find it hard for celebrities to talk to media about their sexuality?
What on earth are you on about?
The interviewer clarified that he was referring to a previous magazine interview Hardy had done years prior.
I don't find it difficult for celebrities to talk about their sexuality. Are you asking me about my sexuality?
When the interviewer then answered in the affirmative, Hardy made it clear that the subject was not up for discussion.
Why? Thank you.
Okay.
Hardy later reflected on that viral moment and reiterated his feeling that the question was inappropriate, telling the Daily Beast that was a public forum, and for someone to inelegantly ask a question that seemed designed entirely to provoke a reaction. It's important destigmatizing sexuality and gender inequality in the workplace, but to put a man on the spot in a room full of people designed purely for a salacious reaction, to be quite frank, it's rude. If the interviewer in question was hoping to make headlines, well, mission accomplished. Missing the memo. When promoting The Dark Knight Rises, Anne Hathaway wasn't impressed with one particular interviewer's line of questioning about her preparation for the role of Catwoman, Selina Kyle. Extra interviewer Jerry Penacoli asked Hathaway about her physique.
You are in phenomenal shape.
Thank you.
You're very
gracious.
You're always in great shape, but you had to make sure you were in perfect shape for this one, didn't you?
At first, Hathaway played along and offered an answer.
It wasn't about being in perfect shape, it was about being able to do the stunts and the fighting perfectly.
And even when he went on to focus on her form by talking about her leather suit, she answered in kind.
It was form-fitting. It's not a pair of sweatpants. I wouldn't describe it as that kind of comfortable.
But then he continued to ask about her body, asking her to share her, quote, feline fitness regime. Hathaway started to get sick of the subject.
It's all the boring stuff that no one ever wants to do. It's just watch what you eat and get yourself to the gym.
When he failed to get the memo that she wanted to move on, she turned it around on him instead.
Are you trying to lose weight?
Well,
what's the deal, man? You look great.
No.
No, seriously. We have to talk about this. What do you want? Are you trying to fit into a cat suit?
And with that, the lesson was learned. Hathaway's physical transformations for a role might be fair game for a question or two, but clearly the Oscar winner isn't okay with her figure being the central focus of a conversation. Airing dirty laundry. Jerry Penacoli struck out again in an interview with Avengers stars Scarlett Johansson and Jeremy Renner when he opened the segment by asking Johansson about a certain aspect of her own form-fitting costume wear for Black Widow.
Now, were you able to wear undergarments?
You're like the fifth person that's asking
that. Well, no, because
what is going on?
Right away, Johansson made it clear she found the question to be both odd and offensive.
Since when did people start asking each other in interviews about their underwear?
Rather than just change the subject, however, Penacoli stuck with it.
Because it is such a skin tight.
But ScarJo didn't even let him finish the sentence before shutting him down.
I'll leave it up to your imagination.
Oh, see?
Okay?
Is that
whatever you feel like I should be wearing or not wearing under that costume?
Apparently, that dismissal wasn't clear enough, however, so Penacoli kept right on talking about it.
Is it inappropriate?
To ask somebody what kind of underpants they wear?
I didn't ask you what kind.
You just asked me if I was wearing any.
For some reason, Jeremy Renner felt the need to step in and help Penacoli out, so Scarlett caved and answered in earnest.
No, you can't wear clothes under it. It's like a wetsuit.
But she still wasn't okay with the question.
Was I wearing underwear? I mean, gosh, ask Joss.
When Penacoli told her that he did ask director Joss Whedon about it, she was even more disturbed.
I did
you asked Joss what kind of underwear he wears?
No.
What kind of interview is this?
Perhaps this incident was enough to earn Penacoli some sensitivity training before his next actress interview. Going skin deep. Before she served as a presenter for the 2015 Screen Actors Guild Awards, Rashida Jones walked the red carpet and stopped to talk to TNT's red carpet reporter Danielle Dembski along the way. The Parks and Recreation star was delighted to talk about her designer gown, but when the subject of her skin color came up, things got very cringeworthy very quickly. Evidently, Dembski didn't know that Jones is the biracial daughter of music legend Quincy Jones and former model Peggy Lipton, so she asked Jones about how she managed to get her skin tone to be so tan.
Wow, the class is beautiful.
You look like you've just come off like an island or something. You're very tan, very tropical.
Jones was understandably a little baffled at the clueless moment, so she replied simply,
I mean, I'm ethnic.
Dembski apparently did not know that, and her reaction was about as awkward as it could possibly be.
It's just being ethnic, that's what it is.
Jones shrugged it off and went on with her night, but the headlines that followed were not kind to her interviewer. Generalizing the gender issue. During the course of her short-lived daytime talk show, Katie Couric made headlines for all the wrong reasons while interviewing transgender model Carmen Carrera. Instead of focusing on her career and ambitions, Couric asked about her genitals.
Was the whole process painful physically for you? Your private parts are different now, aren't they?
Carrera then told her that she'd prefer not to talk about such a personal topic and that she'd rather talk about work. But Orange is the New Black star Laverne Cox stepped in to school Couric on etiquette.
I think that the preoccupation with transition and with surgery objectifies trans people, and then we don't get to really deal with the real lived experiences.
Cox then went on to talk about the realities that often go undiscussed about the transgender community, including discrimination, violence, and employment concerns they may face on a regular basis.
When we focus on transition, we don't actually get to talk about those things.
To her credit, Couric was all ears during Cox's speech and later admitted to feeling like a, quote, buffoon for her misdirection, admitting that her line of questioning was a mistake and a teachable moment for others to learn from. It's just too bad it took such a painful broadcast to achieve that awareness. Letting him finish. In 2010, Kanye West appeared on The Today Show to discuss his infamous remarks about former President George W. Bush's response to Hurricane Katrina. During a fundraising segment for victim relief, he infamously claimed,
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Bush was offended by the comment and later fired back.
It's not true, and it was one of the most disgusting moments of my presidency.
Given the newsworthiness of the response, the subject of his words was certainly fair game for Matt Lauer's interview with Kanye West, and the rapper was happy to contextualize his comments.
In a moment of emotion, to peg someone or to call a name or peg someone as a racist is not, it's just not right.
However, when Lauer had producers show West a video of Bush's segment, West grew miffed.
I didn't need you guys to show me the tape in order to prompt my emotion to what I'm going to say. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't even have to do the TV stuff with me. This is reality.
As if tensions weren't already high enough, the same thing happened again when the subject of his infamous behavior at the 2009 MTV Music Awards came up, when he rushed the stage during Taylor Swift's acceptance speech. While he didn't seem upset that Lauer brought up the incident, he was annoyed that they played a clip of it while he was speaking.
Videos of all
Yo, how am I supposed to talk if you're gonna run this thing in the middle while I'm talking?
Lauer instructed his producers to cut the feed, but the conversation couldn't be recovered.
Please don't let that happen again. It's like ridiculous.
Yep, that's pretty hard to recover from, all right. Thanks for watching. Click the Nikki Swift icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.